G'day guys, ZiggyD here and welcome to my first look at Cosmoteer. This is a game that a viewer recommended to me. The kicker being that this game is 100% free. No microtransactions or anything like that. There's no subscription, nothing. It's just free. The developers said they want to get it out there and get some feedback on it while they're developing the game, and they want to do that as much as possible, so they're just offering it for free. Turns out this game is actually pretty fun too, so free and fun. Good stuff. Think about this game in terms of something like a combat-focused faster than light with custom shipbuilding. And if that has piqued your interest, let's go ahead and jump into it and have a bit of a look here. So we're going to have a look at a new game here. Bounty Hunter is the basic mode. You hunt down other ships, you get money based on how much the ship you killed was worth, and you use that money to upgrade your ships, purchase new ships, and add them to your fleet. And you can actually control multiple ships in a kind of like an RTS style. You could pause and slow down and speed up time, and issue commands to target specific things and so on, but we'll see that in a second here. So I'm just going to go into a hard game, because I've been getting a little bit good at this. I've been playing for a few hours already. There's a few different starter ships you can choose from, and it kind of shows some of the different potential loadouts you can go for. It's a very maneuverable, high-tech ship that's designed to disable enemy systems on the ship. This is a slower, heavier, armored cannon ship. And we've got a kind of more nimble laser ship here as well, so kind of like a medium tech ship. I'm gonna go with the Model C, which is a slow, well-armored ship. I like this one. I like expanding upon this ship. So as you can see here, we've got a bunch of little crew kind of hanging out in their bunks here. We've got our cannons, we've got thrusters, and all of our ship's maneuverability is based on thruster placement. And we actually can issue orders to our ship to move around. We tell them to go this way. They're probably just going to back up since we are aiming them in the same direction, but telling them to go backwards a little bit. We tell them to strafe to the side, they'll strafe to the side and so on. But we could also tell them to change their angle or something like that. So if we want them to turn around, we can be like, yo, turn around, you got an enemy behind you. So we can target them like that, and we'll be able to hunt down some enemies in a moment. But first, I'm going to go into the build command, and we're going to upgrade our ship a little bit before we go into combat, because we do have a little bit of starting cash we can use to upgrade our ship. So there's a few things we could do. We could add more weapons to the ship, we could add more crew. We're a little bit undercrewed at the moment, and that means that our cannons might have issues firing, because the way this game works is that everything uses some sort of ammunition. So you need people to actually ferry that ammunition around the ship. The ships aren't super high-tech in that the ammo is automatically fed through tubes or something. You actually have to have little red shirts carry them along. So there's an ammunition factory here for our cannons, and a little guy will come out here, grab the ammunition, move up here. So the way you design your ship, the layout of it, the positioning of crew, the positioning of your weapons, positioning of factories, and ammo storage and so on is all very important in terms of how efficient your weapon's actually going to be and your other systems, because if you run out of ammunition, then your cannons will stop firing. If you don't have enough crew, you won't be able to operate the various systems on your ship. So you need to think about these things and manage them. So I notice we have a bit of an excess in power right now. We're not really using any power. All we're using for power is really to power our thrusters, and they don't take very much at all. So I might go ahead and whack a shield generator in here. So I'll just go ahead and build this, and this will give us a little curve of shield here, so you can actually see that blue curve there is an area that is now shielded. So anything that fires through there will be absorbed by the shields, and each time it takes a hit, some of its energy will be depleted, and guys will need to bring little energy cells over to the shields. Again, the ships don't have wiring, they just have little dudes that ferry them around, but which doesn't make much sense, but from a gameplay perspective, it's really interesting because you have to think about that crew situation. And as you can see, right now we have the minimum amount of crew to operate our ship, but we're not going to be very efficient. Our shields might go down, and we might not have anyone currently available to replenish the energy on them, or we might run out of ammunition for our cannons and be in trouble. So I'm going to add some crew quarters over here, and then I'll add a bunch more crew, and you can hire crew individually, and you need bunks for them to stay in, and when you're not in combat, they will stay in their bunks, which is important as well, because you might need to be like, where is the crew quarters located? How long is it going to take them to get to battle stations? So those things can be quite important. So we have a pretty decent amount of crew right now. We have a little bit of spare money. We still have a bit more energy than we really need right now, so what I might do is add some lasers as well. So let's go ahead and add some lasers onto the side here. Yeah, I think I'll add a laser there. This will fire in the arc that you can see, the angle that you can see there. Might be better to place it a little somewhere else, but I think that could work just fine. Yeah, we'll see how this works. And that's a big part of this game, is kind of seeing how these things work. We can only afford the one right now. I'm going to just place a little bit of armor to protect it, because as you can see, it's slightly outside of the shield range, and if some shots come in from the side here, it won't be very well protected, so I'm going to add a little bit of armor there. If we place it here, it'll block its shots, but just there won't have any problems. So that'll protect our cannon a little bit from the side as well. So the ship's a little lopsided at the moment, but we are all out of money, so I've got to earn some money before we can do any more upgrades. So let's go hunt down this little dude over here. If we click on it, we can see we've got a signal here. We don't know who they are or what the ship's like. So we'll move into range. I'll speed up time to get there a little faster. And then you'll see once we get here, I can actually pause and we can take a look at the ship. So this is the Trapper. It's got a lot of disabling weapons. So these lasers here, these little burst laser things, don't do much damage, but they will disable your systems and they just shred through shields. So our shields aren't going to be too much help on these guys. What I'm actually going to do is tell my cannons to disable some of their weapons first, try and destroy some of their weapons. They've got 2 reactor cores here. If we could get behind them, we'd be able to take out a reactor core, but my ship's pretty slow, so that's not likely to happen. This ship looks kind of fast. So instead what I'm going to do is, we'll start in the middle and work our way out and try and destroy some of those with our cannons. So I'm just queuing up some commands for my ship to attack. And later on, once you add more weapons, you can actually tell specific weapon groups to attack specific things and assign them to hotkeys and so on. So let's move into combat here. I'm going to focus on my ship. And once we get in range, I'm going to slow time down a bit because I want to show you this stuff in action. So first, let's see how we're going. This guy doesn't have any shields. Looks like he's turning, so I'm hitting the side. We might get to the reactor if we're lucky. Doesn't quite look like it. So as you can see, our shields have already been disabled and they're not very well protected, so we could have some issues here. Currently, we are apparently out of ammunition, and the guys who are manning the turrets have gone to go collect some more ammunition. And I'm on quarter speed. We'll just see how this plays out. So you can see these guys ferrying energy cells around, going and grabbing ammunition, and trying to get those cannons back online. We have one gun right here that's currently firing because it does have ammo, but it's not doing a lot by itself. So unfortunately, this guy having disabled my shields is probably actually going to destroy my shield reactor, which is a bit of a problem because we're going to have to spend money to repair that after this combat. So let's go ahead and speed this up to half and see how this fight just goes right here. I can focus on my ship, or we could focus on his ship. And we can actually see in the top right here, his ship, if we can't see it quite. It'd be nice to, I think there might be a way to focus in between the 2 ships. That'd be ideal. He's kind of turning and not letting me take out his cannons, which is causing some problems. But we do have our cannons back firing again, though he is targeting this down. So this ship is specifically built to disable enemy ships, and he's doing a really good job disabling us. So we're having a bit of trouble right here. And he's actually cutting through to my ammo factory, which is now out. And he's actually now hitting my reactor core. And I think we might be dead. So, that's a little unfortunate, but I think we might actually have some troubles here. We could try and fly away, but we don't have, without any money to repairs and with very little weapons, we are pretty much dead in the water. So our first combat has gone pretty poorly. We'll play this out and see how it goes, but we are not doing so well. We have 1 laser weapon firing at the moment. He's just pummeling my reactor core. Looks like one of his friends has even joined the fight. We are going to be well and truly dead. And there we go. Good start. Well, I showed you guys how to go ahead and get yourself killed. Let's go ahead and start a new game, because I have no money. Alright, so that didn't go so well. Let's try things a little bit differently this time. I might go ahead and put a large cannon on the front of my ship. Let's go ahead. I can't center this one because of the dimensions of my ship. That's okay, we can go a little lopsided. So this is gonna spend a decent whack of my money. We might have some ammo issues though with this. So what I'm gonna do is, these are fire extinguishers, which are used to put out fires on your ship. I'm gonna go ahead and move these down to the back of my ship. I'll still have reasonable access to those. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move this ammo factory here. They'll be able to directly supply the large cannon, and through a door here, be able to supply this one. But then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add an ammo storage. So when we're not in combat, any excess ammo will go here and be filled up. And then crew will be able to take this and ferry it over to this cannon here. If we put a door over here, they can also directly take it into this cannon as well. So this cannon should be up at all times. The only issue is that we don't have much in the way of crew, so getting some more crew is going to be essential here. And what I might do is to try and improve the efficiency here a little bit, put a door there as well. Now, doors do have a drawback, as fires will spread through doors if there are fires on your ship, so if they get a cannon shot through your armor and sets fire to some of your bays, then the fires will spread really quickly if you've got a lot of doors, but on the other hand, it is going to allow our crew to maneuver where they need to. So these guys should be able to directly jump in here, grab some ammo, and go and man the cannons. So that's going to help quite a bit. We don't have enough money to do anything else really, so that might be it for now. What I could probably do is just like sneak a little bit of armor in here or something for now, just to try and shield this from getting destroyed. And we can just go a little bit, put a little point there for now. And that should do. All right, we'll see how this approach goes. All right, let's go ahead and take on this guy that's by himself over here. Let's go ahead and target him and speed up time. And we'll see how our ship operates. First, we'll spot what his ship looks like. So let me slow things down a bit here. Slow them down to 1 speed. And let's go ahead and take a look. What do we got here? This time we've got the Reliable. Looks like a rather simple ship with 2 cannons. Okay, the reactor's buried behind a lot of armor right at the back of the ship. So I think our strategy here is going to be to disable his ship as much as possible. So we're going to focus on his cannons. He doesn't have any other weaponry that I can see, so if we take out his cannons, we'll be in pretty good kind of situation. He has a few like ammo factories and storage here. We could try and destroy those, but probably just better off going for the cannons and then seeing if we can punch through to his control room, or we can do whatever we want at that point because we won't have any defenses. So let's go ahead and move. We'll move down to half time. And I'm going to close in and see how we go. So he's taking a few shots. He's trying to lead here. We could actually command ourselves to just try and avoid some of those shots. Looks like I was moving a bit too fast, so I wasn't quite able to. All right, let's see how our cannons go at punching through here. All right, this is looking pretty good. Okay, let's focus on our ship for a bit. I want to see how we're going. How's our cannon uptime? Looks like with this new kind of layout of ammunition storage and production here, the cannons are staying up, having pretty good uptime. Our extra cannon ammo storage has run out now, so this one might be a little slow, but with this one just pumping out and pushing it out the ammo as quickly as possible, at least our main cannon should be up most of the time. This one needs 4 ammo to fire because it fires 1 big shot. But at this point, it looks like we're in pretty good situation, so that seems to have worked pretty nicely. This ship is now dead in the water. We took out his control room. He's not able to control his ship anymore, so he's just gonna spin. He's just gonna free spin, so we can speed up time until we destroy his ship there. We're just gonna destroy his reactor, and then we'll get our credits. And there we go, target defeated, 8,000 credits, very nice. All right, so that went pretty well. We took a bit of damage, so we're gonna have to repair that. Looks like our cannon armor here took a bit of damage, and it's gonna cost us $1,300. So we did, after a bit of a prolonged fight, run out of ammo in here, and then our cannons started to die off at that point, but it lasted much better than last time. So I think this was a bit more of an efficient setup for us. So now we want to think about what we can do to improve that a bit even more. So we could try and add some more ammo storage, would see us a little longer through there. I noticed that we were running down on crew a little bit a few times, so adding a bit more crew might be a nice idea as well. We could try and add some energy weapons or shields or extra armor. We've got a few choices here. I think what I'm going to do first is I'm going to add another large crew quarters here. We're just going to spend all of our money, but it's going to get us more than enough crew. So that should work pretty well. These guys have to run a little further to get over here, but I think that's better so that this door can be placed here, because you can't place a door on this side where the actual manufacturing machine is. So that should work pretty well. That just amped up our crew a little bit. We could go ahead and put a little bit more armor. Maybe I'll do this. The location of... that shouldn't be a problem. It's not going to be able to fire heaps far to the left, but we're going to be trying to keep ships front on anyway, so providing a little bit more armor protection there I think is going to be a good call for us. So I'll go ahead and chuck a little bit more armor in there, and that'll protect just the sides of our ship a little bit more. That'll protect our cannons, so that could be pretty good. I don't really want to bring this up anymore because then we'll lose some firing angle there, but this should be fine. This guy should be able to get enough firing arc in there just to hit anything he needs to. So let's head over and take out a few more ships. See how we go. So you can see, let me slow things down for a second. You can see once you get enough credits, you can actually go ahead and purchase other ships. You can design your own ships and save them and build them. See, here's a ship I was building before, the Laser Wedge. And there's a whole list of different ships you can buy here as bases, but you can custom design your own ships from scratch if you want to. So once we get like, you know, enough credits, so let's say we got 58,000 credits, we could add a disruptor to our wing, and then we can order that around to fly around and try and get to the sides or behind the enemy, and you can use different formations to do that, as well as independently telling them where to go. And then I could have this guy get in there and try and disable his weapon systems. So, or disable his shields before I try and punch through with my cannons. So you can create like really interesting ships dedicated to different roles and have them kind of work out in battle, and it gets quite satisfying to see how that all plays out. And eventually you can end up with a massive fleet or just one super mega cruiser, if you so prefer, or a super mega cruiser supported by other things. So this is the yacht. This is a little tiny dude. He's got 2 lasers and one of the disruptors here, the electrobolt disruptors. His reactor core is buried all the way at the back there. There's a little bit of armor here. Let's say this cell section here is protecting the control room. I think we're just going to take out his electrobolt first, maybe, and then see if we can't punch through to the control room directly, maybe. That might be the way to go. So let's go ahead and target that up. I'm going at fast mode here. Let's go down to half speed and see how this goes. Okay, he's trying to disable my large cannon. Hopefully we can take those weapons out before that happens. Alright, we're punching through reasonably well here. They're going to try and punch through to the control room, which we might be able to take out, hopefully before we lose our large cannon. I'm a little worried about losing our large cannon here. So what I might do is I might see if I can turn to the side. Now here's a feature I haven't kind of told you about, is you can actually try and tell your ship what area of the ship they want to try and get to. So if you have a faster maneuverable ship, you can kind of like say, I want to stay at range here. So we could actually move out of range. That might be one way to do this. Let's see if we can move out of range so that we can outrange him with our cannons, because our large cannon does have very far range. Hopefully we can get out of there before he destroys it. He's much faster than me though, so he's trying to close in. He's not going to let me pull back. Unless we're able to just here before he destroys that. Ah, looks like we just killed his control room there. Perfect. Alright, so let's go ahead and just engage straight up now, because he's now defenseless. Maybe staying at range a little bit to soften them up with a large cannon before moving in close would be a good strategy. Otherwise, what we could do is we could say, we can make a command like this, and then I think we can actually go ahead and rotate this like this. So let's say move to an angle like the ship like this. This is really cool, like the way the controls you have here. So we can say, all right, he's spinning really fast. This might be a little difficult. I don't know if our ship will be able to do that. So what we might do then is cancel that order, belay that order. Let's go ahead and engage just straight on, but then I'm going to turn to the side a little bit and just use the edges of my cannon fire. And that way we could use our armor at the sides to try and protect my large cannon. So there's a few ways you can approach this. You don't just kind of right click and hope, but you can certainly do that if you make a strong enough ship. But as you can see here, I'm engaging at an angle, which could be kind of cool. So if you made a broadside ship that was all cannons on one side, you could totally just tell your ship to engage sideways. It looks like we're punching through quite nicely now, and there he goes. We're gonna have a little bit of repairs to do here on our large cannon. Large cannon was getting brutalized, but we can maybe use some special maneuvering in the future to make sure that we are okay. Okay, so there's a few things we could do now. We could try and expand our ship outwards a little bit. We could try adding some shields, or we could add a little bit more weaponry to the ship. We could add some close range weaponry, or we could try and sneak some extra cannons in, though I'm a little concerned about our ammo production. Extra cannons cost 3,000 credits. We could try and get some extra cannons on the side here. 2,750 for a cannon here, it looks like, with the refund from the armor. We could probably fit 2 in there, though it's not going to be great in terms of layout, crew location, and ammunition. But still, it would give us a lot more burst damage at the start of a fight. Let's go ahead and see how it plays out. That's what I really like about this game, is just seeing how this stuff plays out. So we can go ahead and move our crew quarters here. Move the whole crew quarters. Alright, okay, we can see how this works out. What we could even do now is move these over here, so they're a little closer to the front of the ship. Now these guys are a little bit unprotected, but we can kind of take advantage just a little bit here by using this to protect the sides of our ship, the thrusters. Actually, what we could do, because these are going to have a pretty good angle, I might bring this armor up a little bit even. Let's go ahead and make just a small armor little dude like that there. And we'll see how that plays out. Obviously we can't place any armor over the thrusters, or it will prevent the thrusters from working, so we do need to be careful about that. Alright, we'll see how that goes. I think we're going to run out of ammo pretty quickly. Might not be a big issue though. We're a little bit undercrewed. What I could do is sneak like a small crew bunk in here. And these guys might be able to man these cannons and so on a bit faster. Let's add some extra doors for these guys to get around. Yeah, whatever. If this crew gets set on fire and the fire spreads to our ammunition storage, could be an issue. Let's see how it goes. We've got a little bit of armor protecting there, so we'll see if that's enough. Alright, that's going to give us a little bit more crew, though. We are short 1 crew, which we can't afford right now. Alright, we do need to save up for a faster than light drive though, because once we kill all the enemies in here, we will be out of money. If we don't have enough to build a fast and light drive, we're going to be in trouble. We won't be able to jump to a new sector, because eventually that's what we're going to want to do. You can see there's the star map here, and whoa! It's actually only like a medium-sized universe, I think, but you can jump around to all these different areas, and they have markings kind of denoting what sort of enemies you expect to be encountering in there. So let's speed things up here and see if we can take these guys out with our new and improved Cannon Mega Death ship. Alright, this is an interesting looking ship, the Tri-Raptor. Okay. So it's got weapons on the side here. Our cannon fire will just go through the middle here. It will go over the top of this. It might hit these though, but it's not going to separate it unless we're able to destroy the structure there. I could just try and punch for the control room. It is armored, but we do have pretty heavy firepower. Maybe just trying to destroy this guy as quickly as possible might be the go. Because if we try and aim for the edges, we might miss off the sides, especially if this is pretty nimble. Let's just go all out for the control room and see if his armor holds up. Okay, let's go ahead and slow it down a bit. See how our initial barrage goes. He's strafing a bit, so that I'm trying to avoid some of the shots, though we did shred one side of his ship already. Looks like our really strong burst firepower is pretty nuts there. You can see my ship has actually remembered the way we told it to engage before, but that actually means this cannon isn't firing right now because it's too far out on the edge. So what we're going to do then is just, let's just say, stay there, but we're going to just rotate on front on. We're just going to go front on. Our ship is designed for regular front on shooting. Our burst damage seems kind of nuts now, but I think we're going to run out of ammo pretty quickly. Yeah, our ammo stores are already depleted. One cannon's out of ammo, it's back up. Looks like 3, 4 cannons are out of ammo, and the major cannon is out of ammo. I think we're going to struggle with ammo production at this point. Okay, all our cannons are out of ammo now. And our large cannon might get destroyed here if we're not lucky. Damn, see what he's doing? He's turning his side to me so that his side is protecting his reactor. Oh, actually, he's... No, he's not. His control room is down, so he has no control over his ship. All right, let's just try and destroy those weapons so that he doesn't destroy my large cannon here. Actually, what we might do is rotate our ship here. Let's just move this here and just say, rotate the ship. I just want to protect that large cannon, if possible. Okay, there we go. Alright, that should protect the large cannon enough. Can we not get a firing solution there? Oh, we've got no ammo. Alright, 1 cannon can fire here. 2 cannons can fire, we're out of ammo. Nah, we're slightly turned too much there. Let's just turn inwards a little bit. They're really trying to kill my large cannon there. Can we finish off his weapons before my large cannon goes down? Come on! Okay, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna turn my side. Just to wait until my cannons reload. Alright, he's down. A lucky cannon shot snuck into the reactor there. Alright, that was a little bit sketchy. I'm a bit concerned about this large cannon getting destroyed like it is. Eventually we might want to move all the cannons forwards and build a shield reactor in there, and then have the shield just projected out in front of the cannons just to protect them a bit. Or just use clever maneuvering like we were there. What are the repairs going to cost us? 2,000 credits? That's not too bad. Okay, alright. We need I think we need 10,000 credits for a faster than light drive to get out of here. So we're going to have to just save up our money as much as possible. So we're not going to make any upgrades just here yet. We're going to move to engage this last guy. We just need enough credits to get that faster than light drive. So let's just see once we get in range here. Okay, here's the enemy ship. Okay, it's got 1 cannon and a couple lasers on the side. Alright, we're going to punch down that cannon. And we're going to move just into range here of our large cannon and see if we can't outrange him, because I think he's only got 1 small cannon there. Yeah, it's a standard cannon, so we might actually be able to outrange him here a bit, although he might just move into range as well. Yeah, I think he's kind of leading with a few shots there, so let's slow things down a bit. He's turning his side to me. Probably going to protect his cannon there. He took a shot and then turned. did like a swerve there, trying to get around me. Alright, I think we're going to just be able to out DPS this guy. Looks like we actually took out one of his engines, so he's going to have a bit of trouble maneuvering here. So if we go to this range, can I fire with my large cannon? Yeah, I can. If I actually do sit at this range, I can safely fire with my large cannon. Of course, if they're faster than me, then they'll be able to move into range, and I won't be able to maintain this distance, because my rear thrusters are not very strong. And I'm a bit slower, but taking out one of his engines makes it much harder for him to get into range, so we're actually able to just kite him here at this point. since he can't quite get into range. But he's still got that cannon up. We could just kind of just speed this up. It looks like we can keep him at range there. Less damage taken means less money spent. Alright, only 470 for repairs. Very nice. Okay, so we need to get a faster than light drive, so I'm going to move these thrusters outwards a bit. Let's go ahead and go into the build mode. And move these thrusters out. I'm going to whack a faster than light drive. Whoops. There is basic, like, Control-Z, Control-C, Control-V. All of those options exist for building. So it's got that kind of, like, basic paint functionality or Photoshop functionality, so you can use that. So that's going to work out pretty well. Here we can see our faster than light drive efficiency. The lower the efficiency is based on how big your ship it is and how many faster than light drives you have. But the lower your efficiency, the more it's going to cost you to jump. But we have plenty of faster than light fuel right now. Let's go ahead and jump to a new sector. So we'll go to... We're not quite powerful enough yet, I don't think, for the next tier. So we'll jump to New Larton something here. New Lambton. I'm going to jump to New Lambton and see if we can farm up a bit more money. At that point, we can continue upgrading our ship or build another ship. The options are pretty open-ended in this game, and I really quite like it. Oh, we're ready to go. I sped up time to speed up our faster light drive, but I was just sitting there. Alright, so we have 5,000 credits we could spend now. What I'm kind of curious about doing is maybe whacking in some of these disruptor electro bolts here, because these guys are quite good at getting rid of enemy shields. So if we can kind of shielded enemies, the shields are going to absorb our initial volley of shots. So having some disruptor cannons to break those shields down would help with punching that through. Although our cannons are going to outrange our disruptor shots. What we could also do is just chuck a disruptor cannon in here. That'll give it a bit more range because it'll be a little more forward facing. Although having some cannons kind of off to the side a little bit could be good in terms of turning our ship to the side if we want to protect our large cannon. I don't know, so many options, so many options. I'm going to go ahead and whack an electro bolt in here. That will cut down on the firing range though, so I might just put it here instead so we don't get in the way of the cannon. Now we don't have any armor on the front of our ship now, which is potentially a concern. We should be able to handle the energy there. It looks like we need extra crew, but I think that's mostly based on the faster than light drive. And we can actually go ahead and just turn that off if we want to, which is hotkey P, just to power it off. And I don't know if that influences the number of crew your ship suggests. It doesn't look like it does. I think maybe just based on the number of cannons and stuff we have right now, we probably want extra crew quarters. What we could also do is, let's just say, move this here and move this here. I'm not sure how that's going to affect the maneuvering of our ship. We could actually upgrade those. Our ship's getting bigger, so our maneuverability is going to get smaller and smaller. Let's go ahead and replace this with these with two larger thrusters, medium-sized thrusters there. And we're not going to have much more money to do much more else, so I will just go ahead and sneak in a little bit of armor here for now. And I guess we'll just hope. I don't know, I'm a little concerned about the lack of armor, but we'll see how that goes. What we can also do is, oops, get out of that for a second. We can grab all of these weapons and hotkey them to one hotkey for now. And then what we can actually do is just power them off. And then we can move into range and wait for this to fire, or we could actually even take this off of out of that group. So, there we go. So we can power this one back on, and we could wait for that to shred our enemy's shields if they're a shielded enemy. For now, I will leave their power back on though, since we have enough firepower to blast through any smaller shields. But just kind of thinking of the future there a bit. Alright, let's move into engage here. See how this ship goes. Alright, what do we got here? Let's take a little look. We just got another little cute little reliable here. These guys shouldn't be much of a problem. We'll just let the disruptor cannon fire whatever it wants to at the moment, I think. Although we could certainly tell it to target something specific. Look at our burst damage though, is so nice. We actually punched all the way through. Damn! Damn! Too much burst damage! Focus the reactor. Not even a problem. I think in prolonged fights against enemies with shields, the disruptor cannon will be good because we can tell it to actually focus fire the shield. It's like he's moving out to range here because we told him to maintain long range wherever possible. So it's because our rear thrusters are much weaker than our forward thrusters. So we slingshot in and then our ship tries to back up. which is not too bad, really. But if we want to like try and avoid taking some damage. How much damage did we take there? 451. The good thing about a shielded ship is if you play it right and your shields are strong, you're probably gonna have less firepower overall, but you're gonna be spending less money on repairs, whereas also at the moment we're spending a lot of money on repairs, which is a bit of a problem. I like how our ship's just kind of expanded into this massive gun array here, really top heavy, but I think that's okay. Let's take out this other nearby ship here. Oops. He's pretty close, and that'll give us a bit of money to get some upgrades, maybe. Okay, let's see what he is. He's a junker. Okay, these things are just a mess. Aiming for like the control room or something might be the way to go. See if we can sneak some shots through there to the control room. Let's slow it down to half. So our ship's now trying to get into close range here, which will get it into disruptor cannon range. There we go, as it starts firing as well. We might sneak some shots through if we're lucky. Let's focus on him. There goes the cannon. We might be able to take this out with a lucky shot. The disruptor cannon hits there. And there goes the control room. Let's focus the reactor core since he can't move anymore. Thankfully he's not spinning. Sometimes they go into a bit of a tailspin. We separated a section of the ship. Fun fact, actually, if you have multiple control rooms and your ship gets split in half, if there's a control room in each half, they can actually still fly. They function still as ships as long as they've got everything they need in each half to function as a ship. They'll still function as a ship. So you could make a ship that has like two sides to it, and if one side gets wrecked, the other side will still be fine, which is cool. I don't know how effective that is, but it's kind of cool though. It's kind of cool. Okay, make some repairs. That's going very well. So we're basically dominating ships in this sector right now. What we could do is try and save up for a second ship. So I might speed things along a little bit and then earn a little bit of cash since we're just blasting these ships now. And we'll jump ahead a bit and see if we can get a second ship. This one's a little interesting. This is actually this ship's called the Slicer, and it's got a shield on top of heavy armor, and it's only really got one weapon, and that's an iron beam emitter. The shield is actually behind the iron beam emitter. This is a very cool design, actually, which means that we can't really get to destroy the shield, but we can use our disruptor to punish the shield and try and disrupt the iron beam emitter. I think probably with the amount of cannons we have right now, the best strategy is just going to be to try and punch through the shields, overwhelm them, and hit the iron beam emitter, especially because there's such heavy armor on the sides here. We're not really going to be able to do anything else. Iron beam emitter is a powerful kind of like focused beam attack. Very cool weapon, and potentially quite dangerous for us as well, without us having any shields or armor on the front. So we're going to just let this kind of go into close range here. Let's slow it down and see how this goes. He's maneuvering a bit. He's turning his side so that we can't get to his iron beam, which is going to waste our initial volley. Can we overwhelm that shield? Looks like we have managed to overwhelm the shield, and we've actually managed to hit the iron beam emitter a little bit. Let's just see how this is going. So this is just kind of like beaming our front there. Focusing on our large cannon. He's not staying super steady though, because I think we destroyed one of his thrusters here. So he's not actually very steady right now. So his beam isn't kind of focusing on one area, which is unfortunate for him. Let's see if we can punch through. Let's get our, let's hotkey our disruptor cannon on hotkey 2. So there we, give me hotkey 2. There we go. Put that on hotkey 2, and I'll get that to really just focus on that as well. Well, they kind of focus on the same things. We have access to the control room. There's just so much armor in here, though. Power storage. Huh. I might be able to create a bit of an explosion here if I'm lucky. He's moving to the left, though. It's going to be a little hard to hit. Unfortunately, he has taken out my large cannon, which kind of sucks. These weapons are pretty dangerous. So that's going to cut off... Oh, jeez! Whoa! Oh, no! Oh, man! That's unfortunate. Okie dokie, I wasn't paying attention to my ship. There are fires everywhere, and he cut through to my ammo storage, which was located not very well protected. Probably adding a layer of armor insulation to the ammo storage might be a good idea, because he's actually destroyed that, and all my weapons are now dead. There's one weapon that can still fire. That is it. So we have enough money that we could try and flee the fight. Just get out of there. Did he destroy our command room? Our command room is currently on fire, so we don't have any control over our ship. That's not good. Do we still have any fire extinguishers? Is someone using the fire extinguisher? Guys, come on. Come on, put the fires out. Get the command room, control room up and running again. I think all the crew in there died. Yep. All right, we do have control of our ship back. What a disaster. I thought we were dominating all the ships in this sector. The first one that I fight is, destroys us. No, run. He's trying to circle around and get some more shots on us. Get out of there before he destroys the I don't even know if we're gonna have enough money to repair. 27,000 to repair. You can go into debt to repair, but, uh-oh. Oh, he's lost his weapon. We must have destroyed his weapon at least. Is he just trying to ram us now? Alright, he's dead. Oh, this game can be a little crazy at times. Okay, we are okay, we're in debt, but we could probably earn enough money to not be in debt and warp out and try and earn some more money. So the game is not lost, we are okay at this point. Thankfully, you can go back into debt, you just can't make any changes to your ship when you're in debt. So you just have to hope that you can take something else out, or warp to an easy area to farm a little bit of money to pay off your debt. That was a little sketchy. Okay, so we do definitely need to think about moving these forwards. We're currently sped up, let's just slow that down. Move these guys forwards. Oh, we don't have enough, oh right, we're in debt. Oh no, I just sold my cannon. That's alright. What I want to do is I want to show you guys a little bit of the fleet gameplay, and I think I have a save game here that has a fleet. Here we go. Alright, here's my first game that I was playing here, where I started building a bit of a fleet. So here's the Tri-Raptor, which is a shield heavy with a fair few energy weapons, kind of scattered around. And, oh no, actually, oh yeah, no, I remember my capital ship died. I was like, this isn't my capital ship from this game. My capital ship died, so I it was completely obliterated. I wasn't even able to repair it. So it was completely gone. So I replaced it with a Tri-Raptor. And we got a couple iron frigates with the beam weapons in there. And we got a Y-Scout, which is kind of just like a lot of energy weapons, with a shield emitter that is armored, so that it can't be destroyed. So it's pretty good at absorbing some damage for us. And then we've got the Disruptor here, which is designed to fly into the sides and try and disable their weapons and stuff. So this plays out pretty cool. We have a bit of cash as well, so we could even add another ship if we wanted to. Let's go see what we can add. We could add another Disruptor, go for a surround. Or we could check out one of the other ships maybe. Let's go ahead and grab... I really like the iron frigates, but I do have 2 already. Let's go ahead and add a Marauder. That's a cannon ship. We can keep that guy at range, maybe. That could be pretty fun. We will need enough money to give it a fast on light drive if we want it to come with us, but that could be okay. All right, so let's go ahead and make a claw kind of situation here. And then what we can actually do, they crashed into each other, oh my god. Stupid ships. What we can actually do though is change this around a bit. So what I think I want is, I want my iron frigates to be here, and then I want the Marauder to be up to the at the back here. So this is, I think, tagged as my capital ship. Can I move that? All right, what I want to do is I want to put this guy out over here, and then I'm going to modify this one to be about here. Can you guys not crash into each other? You're embarrassing me for the viewers. Stupid ships. All right. Okay, that could be pretty good. We're gonna need to upgrade this guy with a fast and light drive real quick. So let's go ahead and build on him. And this is an interesting layout. Let's go ahead and put our reactor over there. I'll add a fast and light drive so that it can jump with us. Looks like we're gonna need some more crew. We'll sneak some more crew quarters in here. And maybe here and here. Just give this guy a little bit more crew to fire. So I kind of like this layout. It's got the, although these aren't armored, so that's slightly concerning. He doesn't have much armor at all, actually, to speak of, so I might give him a little bit of armor with some of my spare credits, just to protect him a little bit. At least on the sides there, so the cannons can't be taken out from the sides. Which, if we're engaging a ship in the middle, could be kind of good for us. Okay, let's get them to go ahead and jump to a new sector. Let's go ahead and jump to this sector here, maybe, and I'll show you guys what it's like to fight with a fleet of ships, which I think is very fun. It's quite cool how this game progresses. You can just grow one mega ship or get a crew of ships. Or have some, like, basically build like a bunch of small fighters to protect your main ship, which is quite cool. You can actually, there is like anti-missile weaponry as well that are designed to shoot down missiles. So you can make ships dedicated to that role that kind of like shoot down any incoming missiles that would threaten your mothership. So pretty cool, pretty cool. Oh yeah, we if we want to create a custom, like a custom setup here, what we want to do is actually save a custom. So I didn't save it last time, so let's go and move him there and move him over there. They're probably going to crash into each other because I'm like telling them to move on this axis. It's fine, don't worry about it. It's fine. Okay, that could be pretty good. Yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see how that goes. And then what we can actually do is we can go ahead and save this as Alpha Formation. Oh, apparently I'd already saved Alpha Formation. Whatever. It's fine. I had created an Alpha Formation in the past. So they'll wait until they're in formation now before moving in to engage the enemy. And you can see how they're going to fly. And you can, just like before, you can kind of adjust their positioning and so on, as well as it commanding them individually once they do get into position. Looks like these guys are very close together for some reason, which is not going to work, guys. That's not going to work. How about you come over here? Actually, I kind of want you off to the side, even. Come over there, and then out here. He's going to just crash right into that ship. Oh, jeez. Alright, so they are moving into engage. Let's go have a look at what this guy's like. Okay, so this is a little Tri-Raptor, which is going to be no problem at all. So we could just have them kind of like, just engage as they are, I think. I think that'll be fine. So let's just let them kind of do their own thing for this fight, because I think we'll be able to overwhelm this guy, no problemo. We probably just want this cannon ship to be further back, I think, because he's got longer range. Yeah, he's getting out of position and having problems there. Alright, dudes, engage, take him down. You need to move further back or you're gonna get overwhelmed there and take a lot of damage. There we go, not too bad. Got an excellent surround there. You can see how against one ship, getting a surround can be quite beneficial because you can actually get around to their engines and take out their engines and so on. So you actually want to be like all the way back here, I reckon. All the way back here, and we'll put the iron frigates out a little further, and then that should be good there. We'll see how that goes, and we'll save this as Formation B. There we go, Formation B. All right, you guys go ahead and engage over here, and we'll see how that goes. All right, so we have a Slicer. This is a ship that massacred us last time, so we'll see how we go with this. He's armored on all sides though, so could be a little tricky. Let's grab the Disruptor and tell it to engage from the rear if we can. And it can maybe focus down the engines. Which, if we can have it disable the engines, that could be pretty nice for us. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my Iron Frigate and have it move off to the side like this to beam it down. And we have another Iron Frigate here, which I'm going to tell to try and get to the other side. Depending on how he maneuvers, we might need to adjust this as we go, but we're going to have my shielded ship engage from the front, which is just fine, and the Y-Scout will also engage from the front as well. And the cannon ship can kind of hang back and pick him off from a range there. Let's just have him engage straight on. Alright, so let's slow this down and see how this plays out, eh? Alright, let's see if we can avoid any ships from getting destroyed by the Slicer. He might go to engage my frigate, maybe? No, it looks like he's not. So the frigates are getting into position. Depending on how well they can maneuver into position, they might end up missing with their beams like this, but once they get a good position, they're just going to start shredding him. So they're, the armor's going to absorb a fair bit of damage for a while, but the fact that they're able to get around his front-facing shield and heavy armor at the front is going to be pretty beneficial for us. So we're moving in with cannon fire now to try and overwhelm the front. My main ship's moving up there as well. The Y-Scout's moving into position. The Disruptor's moving around the rear and focusing down the engines. Oh, that is a thing of beauty, is it not? That is a thing of beauty. Oh, that is so tasty. Not even a problem. Executed the strategy perfectly, guys. Well done. Clap, clap, clap. Well done, fleet. Not even, I reckon, not even a tiny bit of damage taken. We do have a second ship coming to engage, though, which we're not ready for. What is this? It's got 2 cannons. Okay, this guy might not be too much of a problem. Let's have the disruptor fly around to the rear again. Disruptor? No, disruptor. There we go, I selected the crew quarters. I was telling the crew quarters to fly around to the rear. Okay, and they'll have the iron frigates come around again. And these guys can just engage straight on. Okay. 2 cannons, probably not going to be too much of a big deal. This guy really shouldn't be taking the fire on like that though, so that's not... Bro, that is not a... He needs forward-facing thrusters. Right, he has no braking thrusters. Okay, so that design's not perfect. It's gonna need some updating. See how long it takes him to stop? He actually like slams into him, which is not ideal when you want him to stay at range as well. So we really want this guy to be staying back and just pelting him at range with his long-range cannons. It'd be cool to make a missile ship maybe and just have them attack from just long range. Not give them much defense, but just kind of keep them backwards in your fleet. Alright, this guy's a little more maneuverable than the last ship, but some of his engines are down. Let's go ahead and get him just to take out those last 2 engines so that he stops pursuing my cannon ship, because he's doing too much damage to my cannon ship right there. So he's kind of like causing flame outs on the engines there. Once he gets a few hits on, there we go, the engine flames out. And then this guy can retreat to safety, so you can move back. And we can finish him off. There we go, very nice. Took a bit of damage on the cannon ship though. Ooh, yeah. Not ideal. So guys, I'm gonna leave it there. Hope you enjoyed this little look at Cosmoteer. Very cool game, especially given that it's free. I mean, and there seems to be plenty of content here for a free game, man. Oh, guys. Totally. If you're looking for something to play and you don't want to spend any money until Path of Exile's next league, looking for a nice, juicy, free game, that's a good way to whittle away a few hours, then check it out. The only thing I'd say is, since the developers are kind of being quite generous with this, is just, if you do check out the game, consider leaving some feedback on the forums or telling a friend, because I'm trying to think about, like, I think they could sell this game for money, and I think they probably should, but they obviously really just want to get the word out and get some feedback. So if you do go ahead and play the game, then consider doing that. Consider doing what they're looking for, giving them some feedback, telling a friend about the game, that sort of thing. And that's what I'm doing right here. Anyway, guys, that is gonna be it for now. Enjoy your cosmoteering. I'm ZiggyD, and thanks for watching.